Okay. And sex is always a negotiation. If you have been in my classes before, you know that. You've heard me say that. You've heard me talk about this. As you deepen your power and your confidence in your sexual voice, you also develop a body confidence that goes with it. And we will talk more about this connection in a few minutes, because this connection is really, really critical and important. So if we want to break through sexually, we get to do a few things around sexual communication and negotiation. The path to good sexual communication, in my mind, has three important components. These are the three overarching components that we all are going to need to traverse, right? We're all going to need to go down these paths. Number one is we have to get past the idea that we should just know how to do it, or that it should come naturally, because it doesn't. And a lot of us hold ourselves back because we feel shame about that. We're like, oh my God, how have I not learned this? I'm an adult. I'm in adult relationships. I've had so many relationships. How do I not know how to talk about sex? Well, if you've never had it modeled, if you've never really learned tools for this, how would you know? You wouldn't. But I think so many of us shame ourselves or just feel so bad about ourselves that we have not figured this out. There is nothing wrong with you that you haven't figured it out. It's just there's a need for education and skill building. That's all. Okay. So that's number one. Number two, we can rewrite the harmful stories about ourselves that keep us feeling insecure, unfulfilled, and unhappy, or thinking that we can't have what we want. And if there's any level of this happening for you in your sexual relationships, in your own relationship to your own sexuality, there's something that gets to be rewritten. There's something that gets to be tended to here. And I talk about that in Woman on Fire as well. And I teach a lot about this because we've all got stories. We've all been shamed. We've all been harmed around sexuality on some level. I've met very few people who haven't gone through some kind of sexual trauma, sexual shame, or religious indoctrination that's kept us feeling guilt, feeling bad about ourselves. I mean, all of us have something. And so there's something that gets to be rewritten and then reclaimed. So that's the second part. And then the third part is that we get to learn skillful tactics for how to broach difficult subjects. We get to learn what it means to be vulnerable and how to engage our voice and our full sexual self-expression around sexuality. And if we don't learn that, if we don't find a way to learn that skill, it's not going to just show up. It's not going to just come naturally. We might fumble our way through and develop some things that work over time, but we don't naturally know how to do this. It just does not come naturally. As much as many people want us to think that sex is just instinctual and natural, it's just not, right? So talking about anything improves it if we do it skillfully, right? If we do it skillfully, even if we don't find common ground with the person that we are communicating with, at least our views are known and we have spoken our deepest truths. And when we do that, we build intimacy with the other person. And I hear so many people say that they want to speak their truth, and yet many people don't actually do it. Most people hold on to things that bother them and they choose not to talk about the hard stuff. That's just the reality. And so then that just keeps us in the shame or in the spiral about it, or in the ruminations about the very things that we want to be free around. And I have watched the women in all of the programs I do over many, many, many years exponentially expand just by showing up and having those hard, honest conversations. It is not easy to do, right? And then we add to this that most of us have never had a sexual role model. And we sure never had sexual communication and negotiation modeled for us, right? Which leaves us searching in the dark without a flashlight, right? we really have very little opportunity, if any, to see other people have these conversations for real. And so if you have made it to your 40s, your 50s, your 60s, or beyond without knowing how to talk about sex, then you're going to have some ingrained patterns in you that might be hard to break. But it's not impossible if you want to break them. It just requires some attention and